filmed in the shower, because one of the little rumble sensors and I think the acoustic sensor did look a little bit like a camera, and so I think people would have been rather nervous of having that in their shower. It also had a real-time clock in, so it could detect when the shower incidents were happening, and it used both temperature, acoustic and rumble sensing to actually determine the length of the shower. We actually had to use just manual measurement to test flow, but we did that during the trial, both on the first and second visits, to understand what the actual flow rates of the shower were. So it didn't actually measure the flow rate, it just measured the incident, and we'd measured the flow previously. We then used data processing to really derive, okay, what are the shower incidents, when were they happening, how many were happening. To back up the shower monitoring, we also used a shower diary, so some of the more traditional methods in terms of self-reporting. So people were asked to fill in the shower diary to both tell us when they were showering, but also what products and what they were doing in the shower, because we wanted to understand, you know, if you're doing different things in the shower, does that mean you spend more time? I clearly spend a lot of time shampooing in the shower, so it's those sorts of factors. What are the things that actually have an influence? And Hilde will describe later some of the differences between men and women in the showers as well, so we'll see what some of those factors are. You can think for yourselves whether you think they'll be longer or shorter. We also did some questions around demographics and environmental attitudes as well. So what we wanted to understand is, are different groups easier to influence? Are different groups actually spending longer in the shower? So what are the different reasons? Because that will help us when we're looking to target these sorts of activities in the future. So if we look at the intervention itself, what did we do? We actually used a water efficient shower head that actually had lights and LEDs in the shower head. It was actually powered by the water flowing through the shower, a little impeller in the shower head itself, and that gave feedback to the user on how long they were in the shower. So nice little blue light as they're in there at the start, moving to amber after a couple of minutes, and then moving on to red to try and say, you've been in here too long, please get out now. And so it's really trying to understand, is giving feedback an effective way of encouraging people to change their behaviours. As well as sort of a physical change in terms of the shower, we also looked at trying to make people think about what they're doing as well. So we looked at pledges and people making a commitment to having a short shower. Because if it's in the forefront of people's mind and they've actually committed to doing something, is that actually going to help? But also with the shower charts and the diaries, we also thought there could be some social potential in here and some social influence. If they see others are having shorter showers, are they going to have a shorter shower too? And so there's that factor of group responsibility and social norms. So really trying to understand what are the factors that could influence. And should obviously say thanks to Clarke who provided the shower heads that we used within the study. So study design, as I said, it was spread over the Essex and Suffolk water, Wessex water and Severn Trent water areas. We targeted customers in each of those areas, and it was about trying to get a really good spread in terms of both demographics, customer types, and have something that was representative that could be shared by all of the industry. Obviously it's a collaborative fund project, so we wanted something that was really going to be able to be usable by all companies, and they can take the results and really analyse them in line with their own company demographics. So it started with an initial visit to make some observations, recordings, and fit the devices. Second visit after 4 weeks, when we would then either just replace the the monitor, or actually replace the monitor and implement the intervention. Because what we wanted to do is we wanted to have a control group that had no intervention and were just monitored for the entire 8 weeks, and a group that had initial monitoring and also the intervention phase as well, so we could really assess what was the impact of what happened. When we went into the intervention phase, groups were allocated either intervention, control or excluded groups, and the reason for exclusion on some groups, obviously where you've got an electric shower or high flow pump showers or multi-jet type showers that you couldn't fit the device to, we had to put those into the excluded group. But households were then randomly assigned within those groups, so we could really do some proper statistics on the results. So participants, as I said, representative across the 5 main acorn types, drawn from the 3 water company areas, and we did actually have metered and unmetered properties within the study. Obviously with the metered properties we were able to get a little bit more data on metered usage as well. However, this was more about understanding, does being on a meter influence whether you're likely to change your behaviours, rather than actually using the meters to measure the results. A reminder there of the key acorn groups as well. And in terms of recruitment, like all studies at this time, we had to go out to a huge number of customers to get the recruitment in there. We actually went out to around about 16,000 customers that were invited to take part in the study. And we got 339 households participating that we could use within the study results, which was around about 650 people that participated in there. And without further ado, I'll move on to Hilde, who will give you the exciting bit now, which is actually the results of what we found.
Right, so I'll talk you through the results of the study. First of all, I'll talk you through the top line results, looking first of all at the baseline phase and then at the effect of intervention, and then later on we'll look at some of the potential determinants that can mediate some of the results. First result is looking at how long do people shower for. So the top left bottom you see the distribution there. So the average shower length was about 6.5 minutes, but as you can see the distribution has a bit of a positive skew with a longer tail, so the median was actually about 5.5 minutes. We did a previous pilot study which was kind of a smaller sample, and where we only just monitored for a shorter period, and there we found about an 8-minute shower length. Now we think that this is a fairly motivated sample, because it does take quite a bit of effort to participate in this study. So we may have people who are more kind of aware of their water use already, so that could explain the shorter shower time we find. Again, also the frequency of showering was smaller than we found in previous studies, so we end up at about like half a shower per day per person. When you look at the effect of time of day, you probably see the pattern as you would expect, where most showers happen in the morning, then kind of tail off in the afternoon, and then there's another smaller peak again later in the day. We also compared the different days, and we didn't really find any very kind of strong differences there, although there seems to be a tendency for there to be more showers during the weekend, but the showers don't vary in terms of duration, so they're all kind of almost same length. How much water is used, that clearly that is a function, as you know, of flow rate and duration. So the top there you see the flow rate that we observed in the study. So the mean flow rate was 8.5 litres per minute, which kind of combined with the duration data brings you to an average water use of about 54 litres with a median of 43 litres. So that is kind of per shower. The intervention data, so there we compare the control group to the intervention group. The graph on the kind of top left shows you the top result really. So as you can see there, you see a small reduction in the control group going from the phase 1, which was just a baseline, phase 2, which was the intervention phase, a drop of about 20 seconds. However, when you then look at results for the intervention phase, you see that you have a kind of a drop in shower duration that is kind of larger than 1 minute. So, and then when you test this, so this is a kind of significant interaction. You see a significant reduction in duration in intervention compared to control, and that's actually kind of shown in the figure, in the kind of graphs in the bottom, where you see the distribution. So you don't see it very well, but so the pinkish distribution, that's the control group, and then this one is the intervention group. And what you notice in the intervention phase is that you kind of see a shift of the peak shower duration. Here it's around 300, and here it kind of shifted to 250 seconds. And that's then also reflected in reduced water use. So again, a significant reduction in water use in the intervention group compared to the control group. And what's noticeable is that the intervention was actually mainly due to shorter showers. So the reduction in water use mainly due to shorter showers and not so much to reduced flow rate because of where the flow rate already was. We didn't get many gains from installing a low flow shower head per se. Also because in the intervention phase we did exclude some of the very high flow showers with a high flow rate because often we couldn't fit the shower head, or we also didn't want to break customers' showers. So that kind of determines some of these results as well. So when you look at a bit more detail, do we find differences in the baseline? So this is just the baseline data depending on ACORN group. So top line you see the shower duration, bottom you see the water use. When you look at testing some of the significant differences there is that ACORN group 5, so urban adversity, they have significantly longer shower durations than all of the other groups. And then the second peak, ACORN 3, they differ significantly from 1, 2 and 4. When you then look at the water use, you see a slightly different picture, and the significant differences there are between ACORN groups 1 and 3, who differ significantly from 2, 4 and 5. But what is noticeable there is that even though the people in ACORN group 5 have longer shower duration, they don't necessarily use more water because, and that's the little table on the right hand side there, you can see there are flow rate differences in those groups. So the highest flow rate for ACORN group 1, and they also had the most pumped showers, and then the lowest flow rate for ACORN group 5, and they also had most of the electric showers in the sample. Also there was a tendency for the ACORN group 1 to shower more frequently as well. Some further data looking at what households take short showers. Here there's a comparison between the unmetered and the metered properties, and what you see there that there are shorter showers and lower water use in metered houses, which is quite a strong difference. So there seems to be a relationship between water metering and a quite specific water-related behaviour. And then secondly, difference between electric and non-electric showers. So electric showers are longer, but less water is used than because of the lower flow rate than for non-electric showers. When you then look at the person level, so that was at the household level. When you then look at the person level, where we have to combine the data from the shower diary, because we need to be able to assign the showers that are on the monitor to the people, so it's a more restricted data set because you get some dropout there. But what you see is that there seems to be an inverse relationship between age and shower duration, with the younger age groups showering for longer, almost like 2 minutes longer than the older age group. Contrary to what Doug suggested, there is no significant difference between men and women. So they don't, I mean, it looks, so it even looks as if men would be showering for longer, but that difference isn't significant. However, and it's not data that is included here, we do find a relationship between the number of products you use in a shower and the shower length, which kind of makes sense. So if you kind of have to condition your hair and shampoo and then do the shower gel as well, you take longer than just a simple wash shower. Interestingly, we did see a relationship with environmental identity. So this was based on some of the questionnaire questions, which kind of get to what extent people see themselves as kind of the type of person who acts environmentally friendly. So it's self-reported how people see themselves, and there is an inverse relationship between the environmental identity. So this was going on the scale from 0 to 7. But with an increase of kind of 1 point on that scale, you see a duration decrease and a reduction in water use. So basically the people who identify themselves as being kind of more environmentally friendly are also the ones who use less water and take shorter showers. looking at the intervention effect, to be honest,